Imagine a road stretching into the moonlit distance, a thin ribbon of gravel and dirt cutting through the dark forest. You are the keeper of the gate, a silent observer of the world's slow transit. The toll house is a small, stout building of grey stone, its windows flickering with the soft, amber glow of a single tallow candle. Here, time is measured not by hours, but by the rhythmic arrival of travelers seeking passage. The first mundane fact of your existence is the heavy, meticulous duty of the ledger and the quill. Every traveler, every horse, and every head of cattle must be recorded in the massive leather-bound volume that sits upon your oak desk. The paper is thick and slightly rough, handmade from linen rags and smelling faintly of old wood and dust. You dip your quill into the inkwell, feeling the slight resistance of the nib as it captures a small bead of dark fluid. The scratch of the feather against the page is a rhythmic, hypnotic sound that marks the passage of each soul across your threshold. You record the date, the time, and the exact nature of the cargo with a steady, practiced hand. The ink dries slowly in the damp night air, shimmering under the candlelight before turning a matte, permanent black. In the quiet moments between travelers, you find yourself staring at the long columns of names and numbers, a testament to a world in constant, slow motion. The second mundane reality of the toll booth is the complex and exhausting management of 18th century currency. Money in this era is not uniform. It is a chaotic collection of worn silver, clipped copper, and occasional foreign gold. You must possess a keen eye and a steady hand to weigh the coins on a small brass scale to ensure their value. The scales tip with a gentle clink, the metal weight sliding across the tray as you verify the worth of a traveler's payment. You often encounter Dutch guilders, Spanish dollars, and worn British shillings, all mingling in your heavy wooden cash box. The smell of the metal is distinct, a sharp, metallic scent that lingers on your fingertips long after the transaction is complete. You run your thumb over the smoothed edges of a silver sixpence, feeling the history of the hands it has passed through. Sorting these coins by lantern light becomes a meditative task, a puzzle of geometry and weight that occupies your mind during the long midnight hours. The third fact of your daily life is the physical, mechanical labor of the toll gate itself. This is not a simple latch, but a massive timber beam, often reinforced with iron bands to withstand the weather and the weight of its own history. Every time a carriage approaches, you must step out into the cool night air and heave the gate open. The iron hinges groan with a deep, resonant vibration that you can feel in your very bones. It is a slow, heavy sound that signals the transition from one territory to another. You feel the rough texture of the weathered wood beneath your palms as you push against the resistance of the wind. Once the traveler has passed, you must swing the gate shut once more, the heavy thud of the timber meeting the post echoing through the silent valley. This repetitive motion builds a quiet strength in your shoulders, a physical memory of the road's requirements. The gate is a sentinel, and you are its primary operator, moving in sync with the heavy machinery of the turnpike. The fourth mundane aspect of your life is the confined and constant nature of the toll house residence. Your living quarters are inseparable from your place of work, a tiny room filled with the scent of wood smoke and dried herbs. A small hearth provides a flickering warmth, casting long, dancing shadows against the whitewashed stone walls. You eat your meals in short bursts, always listening for the distant rumble of wheels or the clip-clop of hooves. Your sleep is light and fragmented, punctuated by the sharp rap of a traveler's whip against the door or the call of a coachman in the dark. You become an expert at waking instantly, sliding your feet into heavy leather boots and stepping out into the night without a moment's hesitation. The transition from the warmth of your blankets to the crisp air of the roadside is a familiar, numbing sensation. You find a strange comfort in this liminal existence, living on the very edge of the road, forever caught between the destinations of others. The fifth and perhaps most tedious fact involves the constant legal disputes over exemptions and tolls. Not everyone who passes the gate is required to pay, and the rules are a dense thicket of local laws and parliamentary acts. You must memorize the specific categories of those who pass for free, such as clergymen on their way to a parish visit or soldiers on the march. Funeral processions are often exempt, their somber passage through the gate marked by a respectful silence and the lifting of your hat. You frequently find yourself in slow, circular arguments with farmers who claim their carts are carrying manure, which is often untaxed rather than taxable grain. These debates are rarely heated. They are instead a slow dance of bureaucracy, conducted in the middle of a dusty road. You refer back to your printed broadside of toll rates, pointing a calloused finger at the fine print as the sun begins to peek over the horizon. The logic of the turnpike is absolute, and you are its patient, tired advocate. As the morning mist begins to roll across the fields, the world wakes up around your small stone sanctuary. The birds begin their first hesitant chirps, and the air turns a pale, translucent blue. You take a final look at the ledger, seeing the rows of neat script that represent a night's worth of quiet labor. Your hands are stained with ink and the faint grime of coins, a physical record of the mundane tasks that keep the world moving. The road continues to stretch out before you, an endless path of gravel and stories that you have helped facilitate. You feel a deep, heavy tiredness settling into your limbs, a peaceful exhaustion that comes from a night of simple, honest duty. The sound of the wind in the trees is like a soft lullaby, whispering through the cracks in the toll house door. You settle back into your chair for a moment of stillness, the world outside continuing its slow, inevitable journey. The weight of history is not found in grand battles, but in the scratch of a pen and the groan of a gate. You close your eyes, letting the rhythmic memory of the night carry you into a deep and dreamless sleep. The toll gate remains closed for now, a silent guardian in the growing light of the day. All is quiet on the turnpike, and your work for this moment is finally done. Discover more history by watching the next video. We're eager to share more with you. You can't go wrong. All our videos are deeply detailed, dull while fascinating, and distinctly sleep-inducing.